Okay, we are live for the first time in 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think so.
What have we been doing?
Well, the first week we missed. We had 3 school projects due.
All pretty much on the same day for the most part. I mean, within 3 or 4 days of each other.
It was a lot.
It's a mad scramble to get all this stuff together. And I mean, one of them, our oldest, it was a science fair project and it was due the Monday after spring break. And of course we went, that was the reason the second week we missed the Unedit because we were out of town.
Mm-hmm. Spring break.
So the poor boy had to do as much as he could before we left and then just scramble to get it all done and on the board by Monday morning when school got back in. So it's crazy. And then the third one, middle boy, it's just, you never know.
And then last week you were sick.
And then last week I was sick and
he was sick.
Yep. It was not pretty.
So
that's our excuse.
It's just been a lot.
Yeah.
It really got busy. And I feel like I also was thinking about this. I feel like whenever I miss 1 week of something, I start criticizing myself in my head. And so it makes it harder to get back on. Oh, we forgot our intro.
Oh, this is like the pre-show.
Oh, this is the pre-show.
Right.
Oh,
so the real show is going to start in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Unedit, the show where we keep it real, raw, and unfiltered.
That's right. We're not here to sugarcoat anything. We're going to give it to you straight, no chaser.
I'm Whitney, and this is my co-host, David.
Hello again. Each week, we're going to take you on a journey through the ups and downs of life with a little bit of humor and a whole lot of heart. Good heart. No.
2 segments. In the first segment, we are going to talk about the heart framework, sharing tips and insights for how to achieve your goals and live your best life.
In segment 2, we'll be, what are we doing? Bantering. It's the bantering back and forth.
It's the banter segment.
Riffing on the latest news and maybe some pop culture. If we can find some.
I think that's the segment where we just talk about what we've been consuming.
Right. So sit back and relax.
We have this fancy new camera set up today.
Yes.
It's very interesting.
I was challenged a month or so ago to find something that would just make the Unedit a little bit better. So little by little, we're going to add some stuff to it that hopefully adds some production value. I mean, next week we might have microphones sitting in front of us.
Look at the dog.
It's perfect.
We're going to have to make ourselves a little studio or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm working on that too. I saw that.
Did you see
yesterday.
I sent you how to start a podcast?
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. I saw that yesterday. I've already kind of put some things together and some stuff on the way. So that's what I'm saying. We might have microphones.
We can edit this somehow.
Yeah. So what's up with heart?
One more thing.
Okay.
Night before last, for some reason, I've done this a couple times lately, and it's a terrible habit, and I don't know why I'm doing it, but it's awful. I chewed the inside of my mouth in my sleep.
That doesn't feel good. I do that not on purpose, and I know it doesn't feel good.
It's not on purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, for some reason, it feels good when I'm doing it. It's like a security blanket or something. I used to clench my teeth. It's a stress thing. I know is the reason I'm doing it, but anyway, it makes it kind of hard to talk.
Looks like Hazel's just looking at you lovingly.
I know.
She's right there. She's right there.
I can't touch her, but she's right there.
Well, that's not good. It's funny.
Okay, so heart.
Mm-hmm.
Heart is the goal setting framework that I came up with to help me balance my life.
Mm-hmm.
And life has not felt very balanced lately. So walking through the 5 life segments. H is help yourself. It's all about your physical well-being. E is empower yourself. It's all about your mental, intellectual, and spiritual well-being. A is all your people. That's all about your relational well-being. R is resources and responsibilities. That's the stuff and things category. It's all about stewardship, and my least favorite category. And then there's T, which is trade and talent.
The week. Oh, we have been focusing on T lately.
The work.
The week.
The
you doing on your week? Did you get your week done?
What kind of accent is that?
I don't know. It's Boston or something.
Oh, it's a good Boston. I like it.
So yeah, we have been deep in the tea. Have we not?
I've been in the tea. Well, this week I have been. Spring break week, it was, I think, all about A. It was all about my people. We helped my parents with a big project.
Got it done.
We were out of town, but helping them. We spent a lot of time on the kids, skiing.
I mean, they spent part of their spring break helping your parents too. I mean, it was kind of a half work, half spring break thing.
So I feel like we really went all in on A that week. I feel like last week was kind of an A week too. You were sick, so you were kind of out of commission, but I think everybody was just worried about how you were feeling all the time. So it kind of revolved around you, even though you weren't present, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All good.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like on the H, help myself thing, I have a good rhythm going. I work out, I drink water. I'm really into the C4s, really into the.
What's your favorite flavor? What do we drank? I think we drank 2 or 3 of each flavor on the way to spring break.
Yeah, I don't like the cherry Starburst flavor.
Mm-mm.
The pink Starburst flavor, and then the
Skittles.
Huh?
Skittles.
And then the Skittles flavor. That's right.
Skittles. I like the Skittles and the pink Starburst.
They have the pre-workout version. I think the ingredients are a little bit different. I need to confirm that actually.
Who makes that C4?
I don't know. It's everywhere. It's at Target. It's
somebody reputable, like Body Armor or something like that. I don't know what it is. Anyway,
Body Armor?
I don't know. I'll look it up here in a minute while you're bantering and riffing.
Okay.
Back and forth.
So
where did we leave off on heart? We were kind of going through working on
help myself.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about drinking water.
Mm. Oh, I was going to ask you during this time when you said it's not been a balanced. The days have not been balanced. It's just been they've been hard. Mm-hmm. Did you take the opportunity to do a check-in or something like that you could share? Did you not have time to think about it?
Oh, my mouth. No, I really just I think that's where I've been. I really just put my nose down and kind of kept plowing forward. But I think it's hard for me when I'm in it to zoom out. I think it's hard for anybody when they're in it.
Yeah.
A whirlwind to zoom out. Oh,
it's really hard for me to do it.
I'm looking at myself on here, but I have to look up there.
Don't look here.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because I was looking and said, why am I looking down the whole time? And that sun is right there. Oh, there you go. There she is.
Somebody just needs to take the curtains to the curtain place.
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay.
So anyway, you didn't check in with yourself?
No, I just kept going, which is probably not the right thing to do. But then, okay, so I stay pretty good on A, mostly on a daily basis. I feel like H, help myself, is all about my daily routine. Mm-hmm. That's what H is. E is, I'm good on E. E is what I'm consuming, you know? Mm-hmm. intellectually. So it's the podcast I'm listening to, the books that I'm reading, the stuff that I'm thinking about, all that. I could do a little bit of work in the personal development space on that, though. There's a few scripts in my head that I play that are really negative. Like I was talking about, if I skip a week, I feel bad. I'm like, oh, well, I skipped a week. So it's harder to get started again. And need to reprogram that.
Had I walked in the door this morning and had all this stuff set up and walked back there and said, you got 15 minutes, get your booty, get up, we got to do this thing. She probably would still be laying in bed, to be honest with you, because I think she stayed up past 1, as far as I can tell.
I stayed up too late last night.
Yeah, that's becoming a habit that needs to probably be curbed. Anyway.
So our resources and responsibilities, I've been wanting to, I had a financial goal this year that like a activity, like I wanted to give to a nonprofit organization that I've not been giving to. And so you helped me run the numbers on that. And I feel prepared to do that and excited about that. And then tea, I love tea. Tea's my biggest problem. Just give me something to work on. I'll work. I just love learning.
That's amazing. I mean, there's just some people that have that gift. I like working too, but I also like to not work for a little bit and then go back to work because
I just think that when I'm working, I'm usually learning something. And that really keeps me engaged. I really love the learning aspect of things.
And you're a homebody and you can stay curled up in pajamas all day, whereas I'm good for 2 or 3 hours, but man, I got to go somewhere at some point and move and do something. I just can't sit there all day long. So, yeah. What else you got? What do you think?
So that's why I'm in pajamas today.
That's why she's in pajamas today.
That's all I've got. How is your HEA? How's your heart?
How's my heart?
Uh-huh.
Kind of the same as the help myself. I guess I've kind of had been forced to take care of myself, and last week was pretty brutal, but got through it. I think I'm on the downhill side of it, at least. I haven't been able to exercise. I finally got to get out a little bit last night and play a little pickleball, which I'm a fan of. And I'm eating fine, eating great, smoothies, and when I do eat,
pimento cheese.
I haven't been eating pimento cheese.
I have.
And what's next? E.
Emotional, intellectual, spiritual.
I think I'm good. I think I'm good there.
That always means you're not good.
No, I think I'm. What do you mean?
I mean, just for anybody. It really does. Like, if you think you're fine, you're not.
You could always do more. Like I was getting into like the podcast I was listening to before we went on spring break was the morning office. It's these Episcopalian priests that basically do the morning office every morning. It was a great start, and I just need to start that back up again. So that's just a simple change.
How's the voice on that?
What do you mean?
There's one that I don't like the guy's voice. It's very monotone.
This one, there's 3 people, and they all read different things.
Oh.
And then when they do their canting, they're all doing it in unison. So it's kind of, it's pretty good. I'll send you a link if you want to try it.
Yeah.
And then, what else?
All your people.
They're fine.
You made pizza for us last Friday, despite the fact that you didn't feel good.
We have had so much family time. I think I have checked that box.
Really?
Yeah. It's just, it feels like
that's where we are. That's the season we're in. Like, you can't send them back,
And here we are getting into summer, and they're going to be here all the time. Resources and trade, starting to get a grip on that. We've got some ideas for revenue generating activities that we can start. And I kind of started working on the list she gave me yesterday for a little. Are we talking about that? Our goals?
The podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can talk about that.
Yeah. Just we're going to set up a podcast, and I'll turn my office into, I guess that's the only place I know to do it, that'll be safe. And
Yeah,
just turn it into a studio.
It's not real soundproof, but
we can make it soundproof.
It'll be hard, but okay, we can use it.
For now, I mean, we put blankets and stuff over the doors.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Okay. We can't, it's not going to be perfect all at once. What?
Blankets over doors?
I don't know. Just trying to deaden sound. I was reading the recommendations of the little podcast people that what they recommend to do.
Okay.
And then we can put that thing out there, and it's basically going to be more of this, right? It's not going to replace the Unedit, is it?
I don't think so.
Will we quit talking about Heart on the Unedit?
No, I think the Unedit is like the unedited filming of the podcast, kind of.
Oh. We can do that too.
And then we edit the audio, and that's the podcast. So you can listen to
cameras up there.
The Unedit.
And vlog, VLOG, is a thing because there are people out there that vlog, so that while they blog, they film. They call it a vlog.
Yeah, this is kind of a vlog.
Yeah,
sort of. Is this a vlog?
Yeah, it is. Trading talent. Been pretty busy with the work. I've got some opportunities in commercial and residential that hopefully will come around today. One in particular. If we can get that thing done, that would be fantastic. And what's my talent? I don't know. That's it.
Well, it's just trade.
Okay, there you go. That's my check-in.
Well, you used your talent to set up the fancy camera.
Yeah, I did, and hopefully it works. If we get a thumbs up from somebody that you can actually see this, that'd be great.
Okay. On to segment 2.
Oh, we forgot our script. That's the outro. This is where we banter. So like the big news this week is your girl Taylor's in Dallas for 3 days, and they kind of brought back up the whole ticket issue and Ticketmaster, and some of these people that were buying these tickets, they're
the ticket thing with Taylor has been
the service fees to buy the tickets were more than the tickets. So you're paying Taylor, and then you're paying Ticketmaster, and then Jerry Jones, where they're having at the Cowboys Stadium. I heard this morning on the radio. If you hire a car to drop you off there, they charge you $125 to drop off somebody. They charge you $100 to park. Cameras up here. $100 to park. $125 to park.
I'm just sitting here going. You can kind of close this, right? You can do this to remind us to look up there. Okay.
And it's just, you're going, holy, people are going to spend a fortune to go see this concert.
Yeah.
I bet it'll be good, though.
Griffin went to Vegas.
Wow.
She said it was 3.5 hours of songs. Taylor sang about 5 songs from each album, kind of mixed them all in. And she said she only took a few 2-minute breaks. And I think they were maybe costume changes or something.
Oh, I'm sure there were costume changes.
It'd be fun to go to that. I don't like crowds.
That would be one that hopefully, if we ever know somebody that has a box, they could just go, hey, here we go.
Yeah, in Dallas. We don't know people with boxes in Dallas.
And I don't think Taylor Swift is coming to Oklahoma City. We just don't have a venue large enough.
Man, she is something else, though.
Unless they did it out in the middle of the field or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we still wouldn't have a box to get away from the crowd. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. And what else did I see here, listen to this week? That seemed to be the big news this week, is it kind of brought up that whole bands trying to take back over their ticket prices and keep scalpers from getting onto the secondary market and making that much money. It's just a whole thing. So evidently there's a lot more to it than just printing a ticket and selling a ticket.
I mean, if I'm Taylor Swift and Ticketmaster is about to make more on my show than me.
And they're not doing a very good job of it.
No, it's been a disaster. I don't understand the whole rigmarole, but she's mad. If you're working with Taylor Swift, you don't want her mad at you. Ticketmaster.
They said something like they were trying to sell 3.5 million tickets that day. And I don't know how many people they said tried to get on and just bombarded that server and shut it down. And after they got it all figured out, they ended up only selling 1.5, 2 million tickets. So she was 1.5 million, and that's like, it's going to be a problem for her to sell the rest of the tickets, for crying out loud. You know, but you know, it's just their goal was to basically be done selling tickets in one day.
And they didn't. And they didn't achieve that goal.
They did not achieve that
goal. But if I'm Taylor Swift and I realize that Ticketmaster is making more money than I am, I'm going to figure out how to invent my own Ticketmaster. I mean,
there was a band who was that? I think it was Pearl Jam or something. They
like my own private Ticketmaster. Yeah. I just need like we'll just put a like code guy on the roadie crew.
What's his name? The Ben Rector. He does his own. He sells all his tickets through his website.
I love Ben Rector too. And Ben Rector, we need a new album maybe sometime soon.
I think one just came out.
Oh, really?
At least a couple of songs. I have to look that up.
Speaking of songs,
yes,
our workshop for April is Plan to Play. It's all about menu and meal planning. I am supposed to record the workshop today, finish the workbook. It's a lot to do. I'm dragging my feet. Really need to get it done. But there's a Spotify playlist to go along with it. So, and it's a new like kind of dinner, like cooking, like for pizza night on Friday night.
I thought she was going to sing. Speaking of songs, I'm going to be singing during Plan to Play.
I mean, my secret career goal, ambition, like my alter ego would be on Broadway.
You know them all. There you go. So anyway, the playlist.
Yeah, so there's a new playlist for Friday night. If you
what's it called?
Buy the Plan to Play workshop, you can get it.
Oh. No, just send it to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, that's fun.
When is the workshop? Friday?
The live Q&A for the workshop is on Friday at 9 a.m. Central Time.
Do you want to use my fancy new camera setup to record your videos?
Maybe. Probably.
We could put it someplace else that's maybe more comfortable.
Sure. Yeah.
And then hook this up to your computer. It's very simple to do.
Let me think. Hang on. There was something else I was going to say.
So you're going to try to get the videos done today and the workbook so we can get it out to people to read and then hopefully come up with questions for you at the live Q&A on Friday.
Yeah, and I'll have questions prepared even if people don't have questions or they haven't had a chance to read it. It'll just be me talking about just in general, like what we do for menu planning and meal prep. For example, on Monday night, everybody's going 20 different directions. And I said, put the meatballs in the oven.
We had some frozen from spring break.
We had some frozen from meal prep day. Pulled them out, stuck them in the oven. An hour later, I was like, kids, how are the meatballs?
There's still some in there. And then last night, again, we're going 100 different directions. And I fixed the door handle. Did you see this?
I haven't been out yet.
And the first kid, it's always the oldest, comes in at 5:15, 5:30. What's for dinner? I was like, son, it's Tuesday. What are we going to have?
And we even started, well, what did he say when you told him? You said it's Tuesday.
Goes, yeah, it's tacos. He goes, well, what kind of tacos? And that's where I guess if we came up with an actual meal plan and posted it on the command center over there, which I don't even know if the command center is still a thing.
Yeah, it kind of turned into a fabric display.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's kind of turned in for us. It's kind of turned into a general. It's going to be a taco or some sort, which also could be Mexican food or a burrito bowl or whatever. It's not doesn't have to be meatballs. It's just the oldest is like, if you tell me it's tacos. It's got to be a taco. It can't be anything but a taco.
Can't be a taquito.
Monday meatballs means I have to have a meatball.
Yeah, our oldest is very.
So
since he was a small child, we have to tell him that there are going to be changes before the changes happen.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it throws him way off.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yep.
He's gonna have to learn to figure that out.
Are we on time?
We're at 29:59. That's what the camera thing says.
No, that's the battery life. We are at 25 minutes and 31 seconds.
Mm.
Do
Do you have any questions for me on pop culture? I talked about T Swift. Is there anything
seems to be the
else?
common one to talk about. This stuff in Nashville yesterday just breaks my heart.
Oh, Monday, right?
Yeah, Monday.
Yeah, that's awful.
And it's happening a lot.
Now it's happening in private schools
in
and
a private Christian school. That's just it's
awful.
I don't know what to do about it. Don't have the answer. Not even going to throw them out there.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. But I'm sad, and we are praying for those families. Some of those the 9-year-old, I think her dad was the pastor at Park City's Methodist or Presbyterian in Highland Park, and they had moved to Nashville, so he was the preacher at Covenant. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it's just sad. Sad.
I don't have the solution either, but here's one thing I can say. I want to be a part of the solution.
Sure.
And I don't know what that means. I don't know what. I think we live in a society that I actually heard something really interesting. All politics aside, just taking this as a narrative. But one thing, this was on a podcast yesterday. I can't remember which one, but on the subject of the narrative in the United States about guns is different than the narrative in other countries. And if you think about how our country was founded, and here we are trying to defend ourselves against redcoats, then that makes sense. Also, the Wild West. I mean, there really was a need for it back then. And so the narrative is that has continued to this day, because frankly, we're not that many, even though we're hundreds of years away from that, we're not too many generations off of it. If a generation is 85 years. I was thinking at the gym yesterday, I still think 1960 was like 20 years ago, even though I wasn't even alive in 1960. But when someone says 1960, there's plenty of pictures to reference in my mind about what 1960 was and what happened and what it looks like and all that. I'm like, oh yeah, it was 20 years ago. And so we were at the gym talking about something. I was like, no, that was like 60 years ago.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah. So, but the narrative is different about guns in the United States than it is in other countries, because it is there for self-defense. And
it's kind of in our constitution. I don't think any other countries have it in their constitution.
I don't know. Don't quote us on that one.
That'd be an interesting research project to just see.
So when we couple that, there's nothing wrong with that narrative. That's just, let's acknowledge that it's there. I think acknowledging that narrative is there is part of the solution. There's nothing wrong with that narrative. But then you introduce on top of that, and I'm going to come out here and say this, and this might be the most controversial thing I say on this. You couple that with a lack of moral instruction and a hands-off approach. What's right for you is right for you. It's right for me. It's right for me. You do your thing. I'll do my thing. Truth is relative. You couple it with that mindset, And all of a sudden you have people who are unwilling to relinquish their gun or their right.
Mm-hmm.
But really, do any of us have rights if we're not respecting our neighbor collectively? This is a collective thing. Like we're a very individualistic society. You know, we really want this to just be all about us, but it's not. We have to live with our neighbor. And this is that's not the controversial thing. This is the controversial thing.
Oh boy. You start sweating a little bit here.
This is all young men.
This was, well, okay.
Technically. Who was this?
I think it was a trans. I think the way I heard it was a female presenting as a male.
Oh, really?
Who went to that school.
That's a first. Mm-hmm. That's also
might be the other way around.
Transgender.
Yeah. Could be a male.
Nothing wrong with that, again, but there's something these kids, because I think most of the time it's somebody young enough, like they lack a certain maturity to realize, this is not really the best idea. They've skipped some type of emotional development, and I think video games are a problem. That's my controversial statement.
There's a study that came out about that said it's neither good nor bad, but it does desensitize you to violence. Sure.
It's not that I think video games are bad. I think the culture is bad. I think allowing kids to isolate in front of a screen. I don't think that it's teaching them how to use guns. I think it's preventing them from developing human connections. Human. We have to have this. We have to have this.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we go back to it's kind of the pandemic didn't help, where we're all isolated and separated, and I mean, there's still trauma coming out of that, and it very well could be a lot of the stuff that's happening in the last couple of weeks is a product of 2019. So I mean, it's hard on people. It was really hard on people. So. So
interesting chat. Some thoughts in there.
That was deep.
Stuff to chew on.
Okay.
But not the inside of my mouth.
That's right.
Oh, it hurts. I gotta go. I gotta go work out.
Oh. Well.
Oh, closing. Are you gonna play your music?
Oh, skip-a-dee-dee. Go.
And that's a wrap for this week's episode of the Unedit.
Thanks for tuning in and sticking with us through all the last tears and unedited moments.
Remember, life is messy, but it's also beautiful. Don't be afraid to embrace the chaos and go after your dreams.
We'll be back next week with more heart. Next week, hopefully, with more heart, more banter, and more unedited moments.
Until then, stay true to yourself, stay authentic, and stay unedited. See you next week. We pulled it off. Bye-bye.
Yeah, barely. Where'd you go? End?
You're going to have to hit escape, I think.
There you go.
Yeah, no, you go.
I'll go.